Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2, with a player ranked #1 in the world by Dark, and the red, the former Zerg World Champion, the final boss. It's Dark. Up against arguably the best Protoss player in the world in the blue, we have MaxPax, a best-of-7 intercontinental Protoss versus Zerg showdown between Dark's barely controlled chaos and MaxPax's pixel-perfect Protoss precision. A matchup so good, you'll be wondering why you haven't yet smashed that like button. Maybe even subscribe. Help me counter the algorithm. Jimmy, what are we at? 1,575 likes on this video and this cast. And I'll cast another one. And I'll probably do it anyways, because I hear every 1,000 likes we get, we can stave off Dark's retirement another week. But thank you for watching. Hopefully, you've had a good day so far. And hopefully it's about to get just a little bit better. Natural. Already taken. Notable in this matchup, as MaxPax has a tendency to block that second base from coming down and make Zerg's life more difficult than some might argue it already is. Stargate is on the way, and it appears MaxPax did not go to the hero school of just walling off in random locations, but instead is going to leave a bit of an alleyway at the front, so maybe a more ground-based style. I usually wouldn't read into the architectural design of Protoss that much, but for everything hero isn't, MaxPax is. Planned out from the very start, knowing 2 steps ahead what he wants to accomplish, and he might not always make it there. We always stumble sometimes along the way. But the trajectory is clear. The Void Ray is in production. So up to a, not necessarily a sneaky style, but at least to deny scouting and leave a whole lot of ambiguity for Dark. Leave him in the dark, if you would, as to what's going on early on. The Overlord, sneaking along the edge of the trash heap and minerals at the bottom of Abyssal Reef here. The first Void Ray comes straight across the map, not even hunting for that Overlord. He has to have known it was there, but he knows there are more. Yeah, the Adept scouted for these Overlords. And now, he's, what? Oh. Already sets himself up to move towards the other one. Flux Veins Queens will disagree with the presence of the Void Ray here, but it will easily avoid them. The Queens stumble along. A second Overlord may be taken out, so instead of going for the one that may be able to scout in, he takes out 2, and now Dark is hard supply blocked. 55 over 50, with only 1 Overlord in production. As actually a pretty big mistake across the board from Dark, building some extractors now. He's got 40 drones. That's a lot of extractors for someone to be building with just 40 drones, as that makes a huge percentage of the economy then. The Void Ray somehow got into the main. He's gonna light up off a cooldown, try to save the Void, and he will for now. The Oracle taking some damage. Wait, it's getting close. Oh, but the Oracle tanks a hit or 2. And there's the Nidus. Of course, here we go. Dark, not waiting any time. That many gases? Well, MaxPax scouted at least a couple of them. Interesting, I guess he took this many gas. It's still kind of unclear. He has 230 gas in the bank. I guess he's leaving his options open. The Void Ray, very helpful in dealing with Overlords and Nidus, if it's on the right side of the map. It's coming back home. I think he's a little suspicious. The Spylon is not yet done. The Nidus begins, and it's going to be a siege Nidus, where he starts from pretty far out. He's making sure the Nidus can come through instead of getting shut down immediately. And that means we're in for a long-term assault. The Void Ray burns out the Overlord in the main. Very important, but we've arrived! Yes, Brenda. Susan, I didn't ask for you to chime in. Here we go. 4 Queens with plenty of energy, but can't use it until the second Nidus finishes. Having the creep for transfuse is going to be a massive part of this. Void Ray already badly bruised. Cannons on the way for defense. Zerglings streaming out of the Nidus end across the map. Force Field to try to hold the line. Stasis and Force Field doing a great job thus far. And MaxPax has put up quite a defense. He set himself up, and the fact that he walled off at his natural like he did instead of the very front means he has a chance to stop the bleeding and quarantine here. But so far, MaxPax is holding this with a surprising level of defense, as Blink and +1 are on the way, and if Dark doesn't at least take out this Nexus, it's going to be a disaster for him economically. He's building drones and a Hydra Den behind. The Queen's being target fired. The Transfuses save the day. The Nidus will fall. The Queen pops back into the Nidus. And for the most part, they will survive. At first they were afraid. Then they were petrified. But that was just the stasis. So Dark takes out the third base. Not the resounding victory. MaxPax with a incredibly solid defense for how quickly he had to slap it all together. But he MacGyvers the cannons together. He uses the Void Ray and the Oracles. The Void Ray was taken out, but now there are 17 Stalkers on the way across the map. Dark has 1 Zergling and 7 Queens, but he's building a couple dozen Hydras. He just popped out the first round, and the Queen's on the high ground. Now on the home front, Hydra's +1 is done for the Stalkers, so MaxPax has a real opportunity to strike back here. The Queen's already exhausted most of their energy on the other side of the map as MaxPax shoves his way in with the Blink Stalkers. Hydra's about to finish the range upgrade. +1 ranged attack, though, is still a long way off, and the Blink Stalkers have the run of the place. Now moving up to the north side. 4th hatchery is on the way. Very important for maintaining an advantage, but not as necessary because he killed the 3rd. The Queen's stepping off the creep, and without at least 1 toe on it, you can't channel the auras you need to transfuse. Don't ask how that works. And the Zerglings trickling through, trigger the stasis, and the Stalkers are starting to run out of shields, and more importantly, HP will get driven all the way back, and MaxPax being kind of wasteful here at the end. The Stalker count dipping dramatically. Loses 11 of them. Dark has lost 100 Zerglings. Which, not a huge number in the grand scheme of things, but considering how low economy this battle has been so far, definitely making a dent. Dark, 59 drones against 65 probes. MaxPax, the Nidus, oh, not a Nidus, but there's still a creep tumor on the other side, helping to scout somewhat, but he uses a revelation and will clean it up with the soon-to-be charged zealots. Charge finishes. Stalkers intercepting in the center of the map. +2 ground weapons done for MaxPax. And I think Dark feels, again, the obligation to get damage done as soon as possible, as he does not want to allow MaxPax to get any further up the tech tree, where Psionic Storm and even worse Fleet Beacon potentially lie. The Hydra stutter stepping in. MaxPax a little late on the first blink means the Hydras can close in and pick off a couple more. Zerglings triggering the stasis out in front and takes it out. He actually took out the Oracle. The Hydra count is damn high. They got +1 done. The charge lot's coming in. 4th base will be taken out. The Hydra's thinning out quickly, and no cancel on the base, but the Hydra's thin quickly without any Zerglings in front to tank the damage. And now a Nidus, he's gonna force him to target it down. The threat of a Nidus allows Dark to get a few more hits off, and Ablative Nidus is certainly one of the strategies that, well, Dark seems to use more than any other. But Roachborn is on the way. Still anyone's game right now. Both these players with armies that could potentially kill one another, but MaxPax has Storm on the way, and that's a big timer. Until it's done, Dark will still have a significant advantage on the open field. Scouting Immortal, you're going the wrong way. The wrong path. But once Storm is completed, especially combined with energy recharge, well, that makes things an order of magnitude more difficult for the Hydras and the Lynx. So Dark is now at 65 drones. MaxPax at 68 probes, but Dark slight income advantage because of the efficiency across the board. Here come the Hydras again. Gonna hit the 4th base yet again. Are there any Templar? There are 4 Templar not here. At the back of the 3rd base, and Storm is nearly complete. I don't know if Dark has the army to break once Storm is completed. He's working on Roach Speed, which is helpful for helping to zone out the charge lots. At this point, with Archons on the field, the Zerglings becoming less and less of even though they're born to die, they do so quickly with the Archons and charge lots that It's just not worth it. A fleet beacon is on the way, as MaxPax is already making his way up the second tier of the tech tree. The storms are done. Dark is up 40 supplies. He builds another couple dozen roaches, looking to flood the field before the storms wash it away. And a great surround. Dark looking from every angle, but MaxPax is aware of it. But here comes Dark from 3 sides. The storms warding off to the east, to the south, but he's out of storms now. And the Immortals caught in front. A perfect surround out of Dark, and the Hydras are taking their sweet time closing in, but the supply is plummeting, and Dark overwhelms the Protoss army. A decisive victory for Dark. Even with the storms on the field, MaxPax went too far, and Dark punished him for it. What a game to kick things off. Dark knowing he needs to get the damage done early. Honestly, MaxPax with one of the best defenses, possibly the best ever I've seen against such a decisive Nidus. And even then, he still lost the third base. Considering he had no knowledge of it whatsoever, he was able to respond so quickly. But it wasn't enough. And Dark holding it together against the Blinkstalkers, that was a potential. If the Hydras were another 10, 15 seconds late, game over, man. Well, but in case you hadn't noticed, this is from the Super 7 on Soup Live, which is the Korean streaming site that's actually really easy to use. This is not a paid advertisement, besides the fact they sent me the game, so I appreciate that. But if you want to go check out souplive.com/super7s, give them a follow, absolutely free. It'll just cost you your time and energy watching good games with the fans. So it'd be awesome to check it out. I think they're at like 220 now. This screenshot is old, thankfully. But at around 220, if we can get it to 250, well, then maybe I'll feel some pride and accomplishment today. All right, Dark. Dark expands to both naturals. Because of course he does. MaxPax slaps down a second gate. Fully pole probes. DBD. Spawning pool not even on the way yet for Dark. This is just a holding hatchery. Here to block the base much in the same way the probe usually does against the Zerg. Well, this is the most passive hatchery in the base I've seen in quite a bit. Usually at least a few probes get pulled down. I think he's willing to let it finish, because that's still quite an investment of both time and money. So, double Adept on the way. Huh. And double Adept means he wants to send those across the map more than likely. Dark finishes. He's gonna call the bluff. He's building a queen. Like, he's inside the house. Zerglings are on the way. He didn't even need a Nidus to get in the base this time. Even so, cocoons have an insane amount of armor. They're effectively unkillable by basic units, so that is why building them denied that opportunity. But so Dark is already inside. Meanwhile, the Adepts shade across the map. Dark is at 20 drones. He can't really afford to lose much here at all, if anything. But the Queens! Yes! Everything the creep touches is my domain. But this is his I know what I said! I don't... The creep tumor's on the way. MaxPax's gonna shimmy by to try to deal with it with the Adept, but I feel the lackadaisical response here out of MaxPax so he's taking it too far. He played it too cool, and now he might be frozen out of game 2. There's 16 more lings on the way. He's building an oracle, but it's not done. Then this pylon could be taken out. He's already making another pylon. The queen is in the wall. No! You shall not pass! The queen gonna get taken out. But, oh, well, actually, what a save! And using the queen on the side. Dark just wins. The queen lives. MaxPax, apparently you cannot just let them build a hatchery inside of your base. All right, professional tip for those taking notes back at home. Don't let them just build a hatchery in your base. So the reason you usually see probes pulled is because if you pull like 4 probes and have a zealot, you can kill the hatchery before it finishes. But MaxPax is like, no, that is economically inefficient. Well, ooh, well, I like this. Dark loads into the game, throws out a good luck. There's a small chance MaxPax said something in the countdown and it doesn't show up here, but I like the playing that game and then hitting him with the good luck. Dark's like, I don't need luck, so you can have all of it. Are you feeling lucky, punk? To which MaxPax says nothing, because he's a Protoss and doesn't have a mouth, and he's cloaked anyways. Well, here we are, Dark up 2-0. MaxPax. Dark is, he's been trained by Hero. Okay. The chaos. He was born in it. Molded by it. Or crafted, if you would. In the crucible of the stars. Or something else poetic and profound that gets people to like and subscribe. Whereas MaxPax has been busy playing pixel perfect, mapped out build orders against players like Cyril. As opposed to the essence of Zerg that is Dark. Dark with hatcheries only on his own side of the map in the first couple minutes as we go into Amygdala. We'll see how things feel in a few more minutes. Will MaxPax wake up and realize who he's playing against? Because I feel so far, a lot of feelings here, but appropriate for the map as well. So far, he has not respected Dark. And Dark has taken offense to that, in the literal sense. MaxPax has played the correct way, but that's not always the right way. In StarCraft, everyone has a plan until they get a nidus in the mouth. Which is especially uncomfortable for Protoss because they don't... Let's play it. Stargate. We have our closest iteration of a standard opener from both sides. Queen's on the way for Dark. Stargate for MaxPax. What's it gonna be? Oracle first. Not going for the Void Ray this time. Oracle more common. My interpretation is the Oracle more common on maps where your third base is much more likely to be attacked early. Amygdala, third base pretty open. And that Oracle can be very helpful on the field. The Void Ray more useful on maps where you're likely to be able to turtle up. Adepted, get off my creep! Okay, that's enough, Brenda. You're getting a lot this series. Yeah, hell yeah, I am. Just... Yes, queen! Oracle's out. And with the energy recharge, the Oracle essentially able to clean up its own messes. With Revelation, can lay down a stasis. You got enough energy to, this baby can slap so many drone kills in it. Stasis wards. Just the fact you can do a Revelation light up the creep tumors and also still have enough energy left over to lay down a stasis gives so much utility to the Oracle. It was already the unit with the most utility for Protoss, but it just got even more utility. So, nutility, if you would. I wouldn't, because that would be dumb, and that was one of the worst puns today, which is quite a competition, but you might. I'm just saying. Twilight and Robo on the way. No Forge, notably. Ah, Templar Archives. It's an Archon drop. MaxPax's gonna mix it up. I like it. That is, it's an old build, but it still checks out, especially on such large maps with such a social distance between them, where it's unlikely, especially since the Oracle gets in so early, you can see everything. You can see, are they going lair? Are there going to be dozens of queens strolling across the map? Hundreds of Zerglings? No, so far. Though he may not have anticipated the Spire, potentially for Mutas, and I love where he puts it. Of all the places, the very center of his base is the least likely to be scattered by the Oracle, which usually skirts around the edges. Like a vagrant of some kind. Loitering around and looking for drone kill handouts. Oracle pushed away. I'm pretty sure that creep tumor blocks the 4th base, but we'll see. Archon drop. And the queens going to match it. If the Warp Prism with the Archons go down, the game can just be lost right there. The Oracle hasn't yet made it into the main. The Spire is halfway done. Dark banking up plenty of gas. It might be a little suspicious. The fact that there's already gases at the 3rd base for Dark. That is not something you usually see this early on. Like, Dark only has 62 drones. He just lost a couple more. Spore Crawler repositions. It's going to be Immortal Charge Lot Archon, the CIA build. A Charge Lot Immortal Archon out of MaxPax, which a very solid build. And the fact that Dark does not have a Roach Warren or a Hydra Den could be problematic. But for now, 9 mutas on the way. If he takes out the Warp Prism and then floods the field, the danger, of course, is the Archons. As 3 or 4 Archons can pretty much kill Gestures wildly at Zerg. Especially mutas and lings. Hydras and roaches with their range and more HP, well, but the Archons have a tendency to just overwhelmingly power through. Oh, he recalls immediately. Very good reaction time. Gets 1 out. It's a bit optimistic to get 2, but the War Prism is still in place, but MaxPax now reacting. Phoenix on the way immediately. He needs 2 or 3 of them at least in order to be able to engage the mutas. Just backs off the 4th base. Gonna give it up entirely. Mutas flinging into the 3rd. And by 3rd, I mean natural. It wasn't that hard. Come on, pull it together. But the Phoenixes are coming out. 5 cannons on the way. Really trying to lock this down. The question will be, can MaxPax mitigate the damage well enough and come up with an army that can directly deal with what Dark has? The big danger of going mutas is the massive investment. They are incredibly expensive. It takes a lot of time to get the Spire. There's no other tech right now. He's building a Hydra Den. He's getting +1 ranged attack. Likely going to be angling towards lurkers. But if MaxPax is able to zone out the mutas without taking economic losses or getting bottled up in his base for multiple minutes, well then, he can come marching across the map with a Protoss army that can't really be contested. Hydra's already on the way. MaxPax stuck on those 3 bases. Well, Dark has expanded to both sides, going to have 5 in total. Though again, the worker count is relatively low at 70. I think I just saw 17 Hydras in production. Something like that, yeah. Archons. Dark doing a great job. Keeping them busy with the Mutalisks. There's a Roach one on the way. It's going to be Roach Hydra. With Zerglings on the ground. And Muta's still sharking around. He's got 16. The Phoenix count is at 3. I think 4 is about the number that they start killing Mutas so fast it pretty much invalidates them. But we're not quite there yet. He's opening up the rocks. A geological expedition across the board. Does not want to get caught between a rock and a hard place. Double Phoenix production. Again, MaxPax will be shut down before he can even think about taking his 4th. Storm is on the way, but Dark is storming into the 3rd. The Templar and the Natural. There's nothing in the wall. The Mutas keeping the Phoenixes tied up. The Zerglings running through. The Hydras on the 3rd base. Immortals and Archons split off. Stalkers will deal with a run-by. The Templar in a precarious position merges into an Archon. The Immortals are holding. 22 probes dead. So far, MaxPax again has put together an incredible defense in a very difficult situation. But again, Dark has done the damage, and he has the initiative. He has the map control. He can keep hitting. He has the economy behind. He's already... Did he finish Hive Tech? No. A Lurker Den is on the way. But MaxPax keeps his army supply near 100. He's going to have Storm completed. So we find ourselves yet again in this scenario where MaxPax will have one shot, one opportunity to come across the map with a potentially deadly Protoss army. And now will he capture it? We let it slip. The Mutas, ooh, flying right over. He ends up storming himself more than he does the Mutas. The Templar kind of flinging wide, and oh no! Just when he needed the most, their energy was gone. The Hydra's kiting back. The Mutas on top of the base, killing more probes. Dark making it impossible for MaxPax to move out. Another storm, but just off the mark. The Zerglings get through. The Zealots will bottle them up, but it really feels like he's bleeding him out right now. There's almost... The Lurker Den is completed. No Lurkers on the way yet, but if MaxPax moves out, he can easily build them. And if Lurker range is done, he's getting Hydra Lunge as well. Dark is... At 77 drones, he's maxed out. And I think he is about... Oh my god. He is caught between a rock. Could you guys... What is going on down here? Don't put Hydras on a pedestal. Alright, that's how we got into this situation. Well, Mutas still alive. 10 of them. The Phoenix is unable to hunt them down because of the Hydras. Zealot counter. First such attempt. Honestly, really the first time this entire series that MaxPax has been able to really move out. So the Phoenixes, if they don't get taken... Oh, never mind. I was going to say they could lift the Lurkers if needed. But there aren't any Lurkers, so that's a non-issue. But there also aren't any Phoenixes, so... The charge lot's not on hold position. The Storm doing about maximum damage. But so is Dark, chasing down Immortals and Archons on the field. The War Prism lunges, pops it out of the sky. And Dark is on a rampage right now. MaxPax. 12 Lurkers. A GG of Lurkers on the way. And Dark is bashing down the door of victory and looking to claim a comfortable sweep in this series. It's going to be 3-0, putting him one game away. MaxPax, sure. Yeah, no, there's no coming back. Yeah. And Dark, now on 3. Wow. Not what I expected. I expected a hard-fought series. I'll tell you right now what I expected. This is the filler commentary we're doing between these games. I expected a couple games from Dark where he catches MaxPax off guard with some crazy cheese and is able to pick them up, and then a couple late games where MaxPax just kind of grinds them down. And overall, I thought MaxPax would be the winner. As the more solid player, I think like 4-2, 4-1 even, because of their I guess not anti-complementary styles. But once again, I find myself in my favorite position. Just ask your mother. Underestimating Dark. The final boss in these longer series, like in the Super 7s at souplive.com/Super7s matches, these longer series where his true evil genius can thrive, can fester, can mutate, can evolve. This is when, well, that's why he is the final boss. It is rare to find a player, especially a Zerg player, with that. MaxPax is respecting it this time. I see. Uh-huh. Yeah, he learned his lesson the hardest way. But it's rare to find a player with this level of killer instinct. And that's really what he had. Like, it's been joked about. I've heard pro players wonder if Dark actually has build orders. Okay, unironically. And even though Zerg is a bit more flexible when it comes to the whole build order thing, the fact that sometimes you'll see Dark get supply blocked for a minute at a time and still end up winning the game. He cancels the hatchery in a spray of blood as he cancels it, but the drone gets away. That must be a traumatizing... Are you being promoted or punished when you get turned into a hatchery? I choose to believe promoted. Corporate drones nowadays, you know what I mean? Like and subscribe. And press the ring the bell. Is there still the bell? So, just some inside baseball. Baseball is like cricket, but for Americans, for those who don't know. But, so YouTube pretty much has this thing. When you go to your YouTube dashboard or whatever, it tells you like what they're promoting this week or this month or what new features and stuff. And for like a year, all the tips were have them ring the bell, get the notifications, all that. I haven't seen that for like 2 years. Okay, now it's all about, one, they're going to be doing a lot more ads and we have no control. So if you're getting ads, they're actually removing our ability to determine where and how many. There will still be some control. But much like Dark dealing with this adept, not very much. But the summary is, 1, 5 drones is way too many. That's critical damage, and Dark is way behind. And 2, I don't think ringing the bell matters. You know there's going to be a video on this channel most days of the week that end in Y. Okay? So, I don't think you need a notification. And while it might not be a new groundbreaking strategy that no one has ever seen before, because that's literally not possible after 15 years of StarCraft 2, and I try to find good games for the fans. So hopefully you enjoy. Thank you for watching. And I will continue either subtly or not so subtly promoting whatever YouTube's, whatever rhythm that Al Gore is coming up with this week or this month. Because that's how you get new people, or old people, or both, in different ways, interested in the best games. So, well, another drone dead, and Karen, come back. You know what? Actually, Karen, just stand right there. Why do I feel like you guys don't respect me? Let me speak to your supervisor. Karen, we talked about this at the last Hatchery Owners Association meeting. Did you kill the Oracle? Yes, that's called being productive. The Oracle actually died, but the Adepts very much did not. Dark still struggling for drones here. And, oh my. You could probably just kill the queen as well, but... Brenda, why are they allowed to... Why is this game all about worker harassment? Susan, it's a Blizzard game. And I should not speak... Moving on. Sorry. Oh my. Well, Dark is being cauterized right now. It's a disaster. Like, this is one of those games where you're limping into the mid-game, waiting for the guillotine to come down. Because Dark, he has two options. Go all in with ground units against oracles with plenty of energy, or get obscenely greedy and hope MaxPax doesn't kill him. And the second option is slightly better, especially when you still have something resembling an economy. But the fact that larva is used for both your economy and your army supply, that's, at the end of the day, the major issue. Because, one, the queens had to be pulled off the line, and there weren't that many of them, and two, so many drones died it had to be replaced. That means, even if Dark catches up economically, he's not going to have the larva to contest easily the units that MaxPax is going to bring across the map. Because your economy and your army production come from the same place. And it's already being taxed to a dramatic extent. Oh, the queens. Gonna try to target down. Like, the stasis is triggered. One queen. Oh, it's just Karen. I know. Blink is not done yet. The Zerglings will get this around. +1 melee is the choice. A strong one against the Blink Stalkers. Stalkers don't do well with direct confrontation. That's why they have Blink and they're called Stalkers. They're not in-your-face frontline vanguards or zealots, so... But the Stalkers microing back. The Zerglings, +1 is done before MaxPax is able to complete, but the stasis helping to funnel the Zerglings in. Dark actually stutter-stepping some of them. But there's a gateway. He's warping in 6-7 Stalkers at a time. Charge is out in the way. And Dark making a game of it here, but it does look like MaxPax will end up on the board, thankfully. Can run more of those unskippable mid-roll ads. I was going to be very upset if a best of 7 ended in 40 minutes with Dark, though also highly amused. Yeah, Dark is falling apart. Well, he already fell apart, and now he tried to pick up the pieces, but didn't have nearly enough time to do so. Stalkers will blink back. Zealots coming to the front. The queens left on their own, and... well, they'll hold for now. GG. It's just too much. The queens did their best, but at the end of the day, the Blink Stalkers, the direct confrontation, sometimes, and that is part of what Dark is trying to avoid, I imagine, with the proxy hatches. You don't want the Protoss to be able to just go about their adept oracle harassment without at least slowing it down. The problem is, if they perfectly respond to the proxy hatch, well, then it's actually harder to deal with that exact same sort of pressure. You just don't have as much at home. You don't have the queens out. You don't have the larva for Zerglings. So MaxPax, we saw in real time here the results of not respecting the proxy hatch and then dealing with it directly. So MaxPax has clearly taken it seriously, learned his lesson, and adapted to it. So now, 3-1. Going in a frost line. The drone is trying to hide from the probe. Not coming down the ramp until the probe scouts for the third. Oh my. He wouldn't do it again. Three out of 5. All right, MaxPax. Well, he's gonna pull. Yeah, well, we're taking it very serious now. But what kind of commentary do you want on this? Zip, zip. The Zealot gonna slice at it. The probes tasing their way through. We're gonna play a very similar game again. We'll see if Dark changes anything up. It really comes down to how much damage. Ooh. How much damage the Adepts and then very likely Oracle are able to get done. While every game plays out similarly, the details are so different based on how much damage. Like, if you lose 5+ drones, it's hard not to feel like the game is already almost over. Because it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you only have 20 drones, 5 drones, is a significant portion of your economy. All right, you can't just be like, oh, I'm paying 25% more now. Like, that's not some massive reduction in economic feasibility there. Doesn't sound like a lot until you put it into practice. The Zerglings, a whole lot more this time. Trying to surround the Adepts, but he buttered him up beforehand. And the Adepts not taking anything. The drone's still going around. Gonna spot the Stargate. Queens, boxing out. Dark did not go for a third hatchery this time. That's the difference. He is sitting longer on 2 base, building up queens, Zergling speed. Gonna have a constant scout with the drone. There's nothing. Well, I guess the Adepts could kill the drone, but he focused on getting him across the map. So Dark is going to spend a little more time building up his 2 base economy instead of being stretched as thinly on 3. We'll see if that's the better move in the long run. Did the probe get the kill? No. It's kill stolen by the Adept after all that probe's hard work of keeping the drone from... You know, I feel like if he just lets the drone go, Dark will build a hatchery in his base, which isn't even a good idea, but I think you should let him do it. The Zerglings in position. Well, the initial ones to deal with the Adepts now, waiting maybe for an opportunity to deny a third base. Oracle comes out, energy recharged immediately, and points out the overripe tomato of an overlord, and will take it down. Dark, actually supply blocked. He does have an overlord on the way, but here comes the neighborhood. Shady bunch on the way across. Oracle, plenty of energy. Revelation helps deal with the creep tumors and just targeting the queen. There's enough energy on the Oracle to be a real threat here. Lights it up. Gonna try to burn through the queen, but with the help of the Adepts, what are the queen gonna be taken down? More queens coming up, but already a precarious position. Dark only has 35 drones, so he's trying to toe the line of building Zerglings and having any sort of economy. But now with 2 Oracles, he needs the Zerglings out in front, because 2 Oracles can kill 2 queens without transfuse on their own. Run! Run away! Well, now there's 4 queens. But, oh, the transfuse actually didn't land. He started the casting animation, but it took a moment. That moment cost that queen her life. MaxPax up to 41 probes, though. The Zerglings on top of the Nexus. Without an Oracle back home, they may be able to delay it. Indeed, they will. What? No cancel. Kind of a big mistake out of MaxPax. He will lose the Nexus, and suddenly Dark has Zerglings everywhere. 33 Zerglings across the board. The Oracles. Well, Dark puts the Adepts in a corner. He does need to keep getting damage done, or at least delaying as best he can, as right now, MaxPax still has the worker lead. Dark has a slight... Oh, I thought he would have the income advantage, but I guess the worker's not quite mining yet at the third. More Zerglings on the way. He's getting +1 Carapace. We got +1 in charge on the way for MaxPax. Gonna be more directly focused. Baneling Nest is completed for Dark. But the Oracles, and now he's got a triumvirate of them. The Treacles. 6 more gates on the way. There's a Spore Crawler coming up at the third. It should be done by the time the Oracles get there. +1 melee attack done on the Lings. Dark in a stronger position than the last game because of his more direct response to the early aggression, but still kind of a precarious one. If he's able to get that 4th base up without losing significantly more drones, then he's in a very decent position. But it's still a mediocre economy, especially considering he's going Massling Bane. He's got to try to break through this pylon. There is a shield battery. And the Baneling's getting kind of stuffed up here, but he gets the pylon. Oracle comes to save the day, though. So, is there energy recharge? It is ready. He can just recharge that Oracle. And now there are some Archons as well. Hydralisk Den is on the way. Definitely an important choice here for Dark. Zerglings angling around, but MaxPax does have a dangerous army. Recharges the Oracle, lights it up. A few of the probes going to be cut off, but how do you match the Archons? Hydra's on the way. Queen count at 7. It's just Zerglings on the ground right now, though. The Zerglings are actually going to... He really wants to deal with that pylon, but there are bigger problems right now. The drones have to be pulled. The Zerglings getting into the natural. The Zerglings on the third. The Archons on top of the Queens. It's a brawl on the field. Baneling's connecting with the Zealots. And, well, it's a little close, but +1 is done. More Banelings finishing the Archons. Just melting through. Another wave of charge lots, and MaxPax strikes back. We got a series on our hands. MaxPax takes another. Well, Dark, it's always a tough position, again, because if you choose to build that many Zerglings, it's very difficult to get back to even footing economically. And honestly, you got a lot further than I thought. Between taking out the third base and denying the initial attacks. But the momentum was still in MaxPax's favor, and he played it cool. Honestly, the many of the losses so far have been MaxPax playing it too cool. It's a 12 pool. So, he saw Cyril do it. Now, 12 pool is... You can only get it so quickly. But the probe is going to come across. Dark has decided... Well, is he going to hatch block? Oh, my. Oh, Dark. He's... Okay. He didn't decide to pull back and play more standard. He's decided to get even cheesier. Yeah. MaxPax was blocking the base. He comes in, but the Zerglings are already on the way. The response? No! It's not happening! The hatchery is already in place. Oh, Dark. Well, this is happening. So, MaxPax is setting himself up to actually block this in. But the Zerglings are... I have no idea. He's containing... He's hatchery containment protocol. He's quarantining the hatchery now. Huh. And Dark is expanding back at home? Well, that's something. He could actually just kill the gateway. Another zealot is about to pop out. The positioning is very awkward here. He didn't get it before the zealot popped out, so 2 zealots. The Zerglings? The Zerglings are inside the house! That other zealot is destroyed. What are you doing? Oh, he's gonna get the surround on the zealot! Oh no! The other one, pull back! And now the Zerglings are on top of the probes. Is it just going to end like this? He needs to kill a lot of probes. There's an adept. Okay, it's not nearly over. What am I saying? With an adept and the probes and another zealot. Now, a queen is on the way. Adept helping to clean this up so much. It's just slowlings. The ultimate Zerg rush. From Dark. This is the most Dark thing. He proxy hatches 3 times. MaxPax figures it out, so Dark steps it up. And he goes 12 full. Here's the queen. Trying to target down. The zealot does so. More Zerglings coming across. Not a single ounce or milliliter of gas has been mined. Just pure minerals here. Converted into pure cheese. And, well, okay, he can kill the pylons. The MaxPax, I feel, he doesn't know what to do. MaxPax is so lost. He's trying to figure out whether he wants to defend his, like, the adepts. And now the pylon is depowered. It's a disaster. MaxPax is... I'm lost. MaxPax is lost, and Dark is in his element right now. A shield battery will finish. The queen, like, this is just happening. The queen is slowly but surely creeping into the main. Dark is getting... Are we gonna macro it out? What is this? Dark is spreading creep backwards. This is Dark's base now. Takes out the creep tumor to the high ground, but the queen is still intact. Gonna be re-shielded. There's a probe out on the map. I feel like Dark is just kind of... He's laying down that creep tumor like he's going to expand to MaxPax's base. Where are you going with the Zerglings? What? Where... I can't tell if this is like a BM move. Like... Or if this is... Oh my god, he uses the Overlord to creep further into the main. I guess Zergling speed is the necessary... Oh, Dark. Wow. MaxPax just emotionally... and physically dismantled. He just taps it. You know how... Everyone's had one of those games. Rarely do you have them at the highest level. Oh, I think what happened... Okay, what do we see what happened here? He comes in with the probe. The probe sees enough Zerglings and the fact that Dark is comfortably mining with any drones. And MaxPax is like... Just throws it up. Wow. Okay, well. Dark wins. And I'll say a decisive victory. 4-2 over MaxPax. After all these matches against Hero, MaxPax doesn't seem to be much competition. MaxPax was not prepared for what Dark brought to the table today. So, hopefully you enjoyed. what the Super 7s brought to the table. Make sure, if you have the motivation, to go give them a follow. Be awesome. Help support community tournaments and matches like this. I really like the best of 7s between top players instead of just another weekly tournament where Clem takes some significant portion of the money. But still, thank you for watching. Thank you to the Super 7s. And if you got the means and motivation, be awesome to check out Patreon or YouTube membership. And thank you to our Mule Tier patrons for bringing in those extra minerals. Big Jiggy, Dork, Mario, Suit, Thomas. Glad you still enjoy. But I hear liking and subscribing is still free for now, as we established. Don't worry about the bell. Thank you for watching. I hope I made your day just a little bit better. What a weird ending, but a decisive victory for the final boss. So hopefully you enjoy. I'll see you next time. Good luck. Have fun. Thank you for watching. Stay chill.
Hell, it's about time.